Uh, yeah,
Quick shout out to George.
yeah,
Uh,
of course,
what?
of course. I say,
Yeah, George asked for it. So not everybody that asks for a shout out will get a shout out. So yeah, unfortunately, we don't have time for everyone today. So I mean, next up, um, we're gonna ask you the same question that we asked everybody in our intro. We're gonna shift away a little bit. If you could be any professional athlete for Halloween, who would you be?
well, if any of you guys know me, I have an obsession over uh, a specific athlete. Uh, hails from Norway. He's a runner, and his name is Jakob Ingebrigtsen. So this is Jakob, right? He's a world-class runner from Norway, and I don't know, he's my running idol probably because he started running when he was very young and has stayed on the top of the running world for the past like maybe almost like 8, 6, 7 years. Uh, and he's only 23, so that's pretty cool. I have an obsession over this guy. He's my home screen. Um, uh, so yeah, I mean, if you didn't know that, then I guess I don't know. You've been living under a rock or something. So
So
yeah.
here's my one. I'm not gonna pronounce mispronounce that name, but my one run-in that I've even heard of the guy was I was in Pittsburgh, and I don't know they had on in this restaurant like, the World Championships of running or something. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, every year, similar to how there's like a Super Bowl or a uh, World Series, right? There's the World Championships for track uh, on the odd number years. Uh, so yeah, this year it was in Budapest, Hungary.
So and I was watching that, and I just watched, and they kept TV was on mute, so I kept they kept highlighting this guy who turned out to be your favorite, and I was very confused. Why do they keep highlighting this guy? And finally, we realized that he was the favorite, and then he went out and jogged and won by like 10 paces, and it
Uh,
was
I
he
don't
won
know,
the semifinal by 10 paces. It looked like he was
maybe.
jogging.
Yeah, he's an interesting specimen. He's fairly cocky, you know. I mean, it makes sense. He's the he's a world class runner, and he's been so for the past 6, 7 years. Um, and for example, I don't maybe the semifinal race that you're talking about is he started off in the very back, and he's the crowd favorite. He's the favorite for the gold medal, and so everyone was like, "What is he doing?" And then he, in the last 400 meters, he sprinted to the front and started uh, kind of like wagging his finger and like telling the crowd to like cheer more and everything. Uh, a little bit bad sportsmanship, but it was interesting to watch. And he won the semifinals heat. Sadly, in the 1500 meters, which is the metric mile, um, he did not win. He had a fever that day, and he got second place for the second year in a row, um, which was sad for all of us. But but he came back and won the 5K later that week, which was nice.
So I mean, I just have to ask you this straight up: how much would you say that you know a lot about professional football, hockey, and baseball?
I would say, what's football? Um, yeah, I guess track is a kind of niche sport, and I do not follow like any of the bigger sports. So hit me with what you got, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, welcome to the wheel of predictions once again. And I apologize that I'm right now not facing the correct way. Um, there's a little computer malfunction today. My camera stopped working, so my computer's off to the side. So we're gonna spin the wheel 5 times, as we did last week, and we're gonna see if you can beat Daria, who got 4 out of 5 right, which was very impressive. And we're gonna see how you can do. So
Okay.
There are, again, off-screen prizes. Become a guest if you want to know what they are. And here's the first spin. So that is the New York Giants. And, well, I called them the Oakland Raiders because I'm so used to them being the Oakland Raiders. They're the Las Vegas Raiders now. I don't
Huh.
know how I made that mistake, but it is the New York Giants and the Las Vegas Raiders coming up this week.
You know, I don't know how else I would answer this besides, of course, the New York Giants. I mean, I barely know that they're a thing, but like, you got to be New York proud, you know? So if, if you're not supporting the sports team from New York that you barely know, then what are you doing kind of thing, you know? So, I guess the New York Giants are gonna win. I'm
They're like
manifesting it.
2-6. Yay. Next spin. Here we go. So we got the Chiefs and the Dolphins. Comments. This is actually, I believe, being played in Germany this week.
The Chiefs and the
Chiefs
Dolphins?
Dolphins. Yes.
Okay, well, where are they from?
The Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins.
Well, I mean, I like to play this game Proto Bowl, which is like online quiz bowl, and sometimes there's a sports section, and sometimes the answer is the Kansas Chiefs. So I'm gonna go with the Kansas Chiefs because I've heard that more often.
Okay. So now we're going to pause for a moment and we're going to let the chat pick their winners because you guys like to talk over there in the chat. And we're going to see who the chat picks. We're going to give it 10 seconds. And nobody wants to type. Okay. Let's just keep going then because nobody wants to type. Of course, when I want you guys to talk, you guys don't talk. Hey, thank you, Scarlett. Scarlett wants the Chiefs. Well, here we go. Arizona Cardinals, Cleveland Browns.
You know, okay. Uh, my my great uncle lives in Iowa, and he is a big fan of the Cleveland Browns. So, you know what? Blood runs deeper than water. Family is important. Uh, so of course we're gonna go with the Browns or the Chiefs or the Cleveland, whatever they are.
Cleveland Browns. I went to Cleveland this summer. It was a fun day. Or 2 days because it rained, and so I couldn't see the baseball game because it got rained out. All right, more football. I believe this is the fourth spin. Oh, a run. Um, this is the fourth spin. So we have the Washington Washingtonians, I'll call them, and the New England Patriots.
You know, I don't know anything about football, but I've heard that the New England Patriots are pretty good. Is that where Tom Brady used to play?
Yeah,
Or Micah? Yeah, exactly. And everyone says Tom Brady's the GOAT, so we're gonna have to go with the New England Patriots. Is he
Brady
retired
is
though? I think
retired.
he's retired.
Okay,
Okay, yeah.
last wheel spin. This is great. I love this segment. Chicago Bears and Arizona Cardinals because the Cardinals play twice before we see them next. I guess they play tonight in about a half an hour,
You
and then they
know,
play next week.
of course,
Tom Brady is retired.
I'm just looking at the names, right? So we're gonna have to go with the Bears. I mean, who ever heard of a bird winning against a bear? We're gonna have to go with the Bears.
Okay. Um, Go Bears. All right. Thank you. That'll end the athletes account. Thank you for being on, Jasper.
Thank you for inviting me.
Bye. All right. And this will bring it to the conclusion of our show and Adam's final account, where I'm going to do something a little bit different this week. So I'm going to talk about one thing. And then you guys are going to make me talk about another thing. So the thing I'm going to talk about, I had a little bit of an experience last night, um, watching sort of the Jets and Giants game. So while I was getting ready-ish to play baseball, we ended up getting rained out after I showed up at the field, 2-hour drive. The Giants and Jets were playing against each other for the first time in, I believe, 4 years. And my baseball coach is a Jets fan, and he was just screaming during overtime. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. 25-year-old, I won't call him a grown man because he's 5'7", but he's not 25, he's 23. Anyways, my 5'7" baseball coach going wild at football when he says himself he doesn't care about football. Really fun. I mean, our team has one Giant fan that I know of, and the only reason that I was rooting for the Jets is because they need to win more. I mean, so now I'm gonna let you guys. I'm gonna give you the 10 seconds again, and you guys are going to tell me what you want to talk about, and I'll pick one thing to talk about to close out the show. You guys don't want to talk. Arun, I would talk about basketball, but I have no clue about any basketball. Hey, if anybody wants to put basketball on the wheel for me. What is fine then? I'll talk about Hunter Bowling. Here we go. Ready? I don't know a lot about Hunter Bowling. I know they're in the playoffs, and that's about it. I don't know anything about Victor Wembanyama. Yes, Lev, I was talking about bowling. Anyways, Hunter Bowling is in the playoffs, I think, and they have a game tomorrow. I don't know. Go watch their. No, they have a game. Their next game is in Staten Island. Ben Kwan was complaining to me about. That's about what I'm going to talk about Hunter Bowling. I'm going to take one more thing before I close off the show. Lev, that was enough bowling. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about Hunter Bowling really. Apparently Messi won the Ballon d'Or. I didn't even know that. Thanks, Ben. So yeah, he's a good soccer player. What else did you need to know to prove of that? Oh, I tried to go to a Miami Red Bulls game, but it was sold out. George. Thank you for the typo. And no, I'm not going to Staten Island. All right, so that very awkward segment will, unless I get a worthwhile comment. My day was fine. Thank you, Ava. No. I went to school, I came home, I tried to fix the problem on my computer camera, failed to do so. All right, so now that is really going to be the end of the show. So thank you guys so much for watching. Happy Halloween, early Halloween. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. I wonder, I know one person is going as their actual Halloween costume. So happy Halloween once again. Yeah. Good night, everybody. For the 4 of you, 2 of you now, for the 2 of you still watching, goodbye.